Okay, welcome back to research design again. So in the last video we have seen regarding the true experimental design and its types. Okay, in that experimental design, another one, it is the quasi experimental design. In the true experimental design, the many more types we have seen, and the next one, it is the quasi experimental design. Quasi experimental design, it is like a true experiment only, but in the true experimental design, what we have seen, there is a three principles we have to follow, that is a manipulation, control and the randomization. Here there will be two principles followed, that is a manipulation and the control will be present, or sometimes we may not be having the control. Okay, so only the here it involves the manipulation of independent variable to observe the effect of dependent variable. Okay, we have the manipulation, that is called that when we are introducing some intervention to group of people, that is called that manipulation. So that is the experiment. Okay, so here the quasi experiment means we are introducing the intervention and we are finding out the effectiveness. So that is the experimentation we are doing, but we are not following the control or the randomization. Okay, so that is called the quasi experimental design. Here lack of at least one of the two or other characteristics of the true experimental design. Okay, quasi independent variables are used instead of true independent variable. Okay, here the first one, it is the non-randomized control group design. Non-randomized means here also we will have a experimental and control group, but the randomization is not present. We are not systematically, we are not selecting the samples. See, for example, if we want to do the research on hypertensive clients or the diabetic clients, here the systematization is not possible. So the according to the researcher's convenience, they will be selecting the samples. So whomever is willing to come and participate in our study, we will be making as a samples. So here the systematic selection is absent. So it is the non-randomization. You are understanding now? So here there will be an experimental group and the control group. Here the treatment is given to the experimental group and we will be getting the post-test. Okay, we can do the pre-test and the interventions and the post-test. Okay, in the control group also we will be making a pre-test and the post-test. Okay, so it is called that non-randomized control group design. Non-randomized control group design. And the next one, it is the, in this quasi experiment we will be having a time series design. Here first in only one group it is selected, that is the experimental group. Here the control is not present and we will be checking their status, that is the knowledge level or the effect first previously how they are. Okay, before the introduction of the treatment, how the group is present. Okay, so in the observation 1, 2, 3, okay, we will be doing, that is in a series, that is the first time, second time and third time we are observing the group of people and we are introducing the treatment. Same way in the post-test also we will be analyzing observation 1, 2 and 3 we will be doing, and we will be, that is called that series design in a time period. So see, for example, when we are teaching regarding the exercise program to identify the effects. Okay, see, first time we are doing the pre-test, that is how far the person is following the exercises. Okay, what is the exercise program they are following. Okay, so first week we are observing their exercise program, second week and the third week. After that we are giving the teaching to the particular group of people, okay, regarding the exercise program. So after the intervention, the observation we are doing, the first week what is the effect it is taken place. So in the second week we will be giving a time period, and after that second week we will be analyzing, and again we will be giving a time period, and third observation. So in this, in each week what is the progress it is taking place on their health status. Are you understanding? That is called the time series design. So the interval it is given and we will be analyzing the effect. That is called the time series design. Okay. So here this is also, it is this quasi experimental design we can easily, it is feasible to do anywhere. That is, we are not sometimes we will not be getting the possibility to get a systemization. So anywhere we can able to perform this quasi experimental design, and when we want to take a smaller sample size, this is easy to have the quasi experimental design, and easily we can use for the cause and effect testing or the hypothesis testing. We can able to use this quasi experimental design. Okay. Here one of the disadvantage for this quasi experimental design, sometimes we can't able to control the extraneous variables. Okay. So the extraneous variables will be having a more influence over the dependent variable. Okay. And sometimes there will be a reliability will be less in this quasi experimental design. Okay. In the experimental design, the last type, it is the pre-experimental research design. Pre-experimental research design, it is one of the weakest design in the research, only the little control over the experiment. Okay, in this there are two types of research design we can use, that is a one-shot case design and one group pre-test post-test design. What is that one-shot case design? Here the experimental group it is taken and treatment is only one group it is selected, and we will be introducing the intervention and we will be seeing the post-test, the effectiveness we are finding out. One group pre-test post-test design, here the experimental group it is selected, only one group, we are not going to keep any control group. Okay. Here we will be we will be doing the pre-test, and after that we will be introducing the intervention. After that we will be giving a time period and we will be checking the post-test or the effectiveness. That is called that pre-experimental. In this pre-experimental design we will be having a one-shot case design, that is only experimental group it is selected, we will be introducing the intervention, and after that we will be checking the effectiveness. In this one group pre-test post-test design, here the experimental group it is selected, pre-test we will be analyzing the previous knowledge and we will be introducing the intervention. After that we will be checking the post-test. Okay, so these all regarding the experimental design. Okay, here the advantage of pre-experimental design, it is a very simple and convenient to conduct the research, and it is it can be taken in the natural setting, and for the beginners it is easy. For the postgraduate students or the undergraduate students, we can have this pre-experimental design, because the one group of people we are selecting and we are introducing the intervention and we are seeing the effectiveness. So it is easy. So the knowledge, that much experience is not needed to do this pre-experimental design. Okay, so these all regarding the experimental design. So in the experimental design we have the type of true experimental design, quasi experimental design and the pre-experimental design. In the true experimental design we have the subdivisions of post-test only control group design, pre-test post-test only control group design, Solomon 4 group design, factorial design, randomized block, crossover design. Okay. In this quasi experimental design we have the subdivisions, that is the non-randomized and the time series design. Okay. And the pre-experimental design we have the one shot case design and the pre-test post-test only design. Okay. So these are the experimental design, types of the experimental design, it comes under the quantitative. Okay. Next, the non-experimental design. So first we have seen regarding the experimental design. Second type, it has the non-experimental design. Non-experimental design, from the word itself, understand that is we are not going to do any manipulation on this experimental. We are not going to do any experimentation. Only thing, whatever it is taking place on the natural setting, we are going to observe, or we are going to describe the views, the researcher's view we are getting, and we are describing that. That is called that non-experimental design. That is a no external variables are introduced in the group or in the samples. Okay. Only in the natural setting, whatever it is taking place, we are going to observe. That is called that non-experimental research design. Okay. So in this non-experimental research design, there are 5 types of research designs. That is the first one, it is the descriptive design, and the second one, it is the correlation or the ex post facto design, and the third one, it is the developmental research design, and the fourth one, it is the epidemiological design, and the survey research design. One by one we will see. What is that descriptive design? So from the word we can understand that description. We are going to describe the situation, what is taking place naturally. That is called that descriptive design. It is used to observe or document or describe the phenomena occurring in natural setting. That is called that descriptive. Okay. To gain more information about particular characteristics within a particular setting, okay, or to develop the theories, we will be using this descriptive study. So here in this descriptive, there are 3 forms, that is the univariate, exploratory, and the comparative. Univariate in the sense, the naturally the how frequently that phenomena is occurring. There may be one or more variables will be taking place in this univariate description. There will be, say for example, particular behavior pattern, if you want to observe one particular group of people, only in the, so here the univariate, the behavior pattern, there may be many behavioral patterns will be present in that particular group of people. What is the behavior they are having, that we are going to describe. That is called that univariate. And the next one, it is the exploratory. In the descriptive alone, exploring the phenomena. We are going to describe or the existing phenomena present on particular society or particular group of people, we are going to explore. See for example, in the tribes, if you want to explore their cultural pattern. Okay, so that is existing phenomena. We are going to describe, just we are going to describe. So what is it is taking place on that particular group of people. Okay, that is called exploring. Exploring, we are making, throwing out, that is the exploration. And the comparative, it involves comparing and contrasting 2 or more samples of study subject on one or more variables or the single point of time. We are analyzing the variables and we are comparing. So for example, in the particular group of people, if you are analyzing the behavioral pattern, so what are the change of behavioral pattern it is taking place, we are comparing. So in this period they will be having this type of behavioral pattern, in this time we will be having this type of behavioral pattern. So that is the descriptive design. So univariate, exploratory, and the comparative. Okay, next it is the correlation or the ex post facto design. Here we will be correlating. See for example, how the age or how the education is influencing the knowledge. It is a correlation. So we are relating the factors between how this age will be influencing this behavioral pattern, or how the educational status influences the knowledge of particular group of people. So, we are analyzing. Okay. So, that is in the natural setting we are analyzing. So, the education improves the knowledge, or when the age is increasing, or when we are practicing something, they will be getting the perfection. So, in the natural setting, how the phenomena is taking place, that will be analyzed by the correlation studies. Okay. So, in the correlation studies, we have two forms, that is the prospective design and the retrospective design. Prospective design in the sense, here the researcher relates the present to the future, here so some behavioral pattern. So, particular group of people in the future, they will be getting these type of behavior, not these type of behaviors, the health modification will be taking place like this. So, that is the prospective, in the future they may get like this. Okay. And the retrospective in the sense, here the researcher studies the current phenomena by seeking the information from the past. So, the past information we are relating to the current one. Maybe due to the changes in this society, the current changes is taken place. Like that they will be relating. Okay. Prospective, we will be relating the information to the future. Okay. Retrospective, the current information is related to the past. Maybe it is because of the past effect, there is a changes is taken place on the current. So that is the correlational research. So, we are correlating the previous one to the future and the current one to the past. Okay. And the developmental research, next one, it is the developmental research. Here there are two forms, it is the cross section design and the longitudinal design. Here the researcher collects data at particular time, one period, and it is more convenient time we will be collecting, and they will be analyzing the factors. See, for example, in the rainy season, the people will be getting the respiratory diseases or the flu-like symptoms. Okay, that is the cross-sectional. In the particular period of time alone, they will be analyzing in the natural setting how the changes is taking place in the society. That is the cross-sectional design. And other one, it is the longitudinal design, that is the developmental design. Here data is collected in a longer period. So, in the every duration, how the changes is taking place in the society, that is the longitudinal. Continuously we will be observing and we will be identifying the phenomena, what the changes is taking place on that particular area or particular group of people, what are the changes is taking place. Continuously we will be observing and we will be describing that. Okay, that is the developmental research design. It gives the reference of time. See, when a particular time period if we are analyzing, that is called that cross sectional design. And if you are giving a longer time period in the interval, and after continuously we will be analyzing the particular change of behavior, that is called that longitudinal design. And the epidemiological research study, we can understand that what is that epidemiology? It is the community, in the overall community what is taking place, or in this society investigation we are doing on the population, that is called that epidemiological study. It is in the two forms we can get this epidemiological studies, that is a cohort study and the case control study. That is a cohort study in the sense, it is the longitudinal approach used to investigate the disease and cause. See, for example, in the rainy season when we are getting a particular form of disease, so in the all the period we are getting the disease and what is the cause, that we are analyzing, that is the epidemiological research study. Okay, in the epidemiological cohort study, the longitudinal way of approach we will be having to analyze the disease and the cause. And the case control study, in the sense it is taken place already, the disease is it is occurred, it is taken place on the particular community people. So we are analyzing, we are investigating the occurrence of disease in what what is the pattern of occurrence of disease, that is called the case control study. Okay, so that is the epidemiological research study, investigating the distribution of cause of disease in particular population, that is called the epidemiological survey or the epidemiological research. Okay, and the last one, it is a survey research design, that is the survey. We all know we are doing the population survey, or the when we are taking the election, at the time of election we will be we want to take a electoral roll. Okay, for that we will be doing the survey, the people who is completed the 18 years, whether they have the election card. For that, to apply that, we will be identifying how many total population we have in a particular area of people. That is called that survey research design. Survey, we are total population, we are making a survey, that is called that survey research. Okay, so it is the non-experimental research design. Okay, in the non-experimental research design we have the descriptive, and the second one correlation or the exposed factor design, and the third one it is the developmental research, fourth one it is the epidemiological research study, fifth one it is the survey research design. Okay, and the last one other additional research, it is the methodological studies, meta-analysis, secondary data analysis, outcome research, evaluation studies, and the operational research. That is the other form of research studies. One by one we will see what is that. In case of methodological study, that is researcher want to identify the method to do the research study, some methods, whether this method will be giving the more effectiveness or easy approach to do the study, that is the methodological. We are identifying the some methods to introduce or to do the research study, that is called that methodological. See, for example, to do the experimental research, we have to have the many types we have. So for the upcoming learners, we can use the pre-experimental research design. So in case of that, only one group will be selected and we will be giving the we will be doing the pre-test. After that, we will be introducing the intervention. So that is the method. So what method we have to adopt to do the study, that is called that methodological study. And the meta-analysis, next research design, that is the quantitatively combining and integrating the findings of the multiple research study on a particular topic, that is the meta-analysis. And the secondary data analysis, in the sense, already one researcher has conducted the study, again the further research will be carried out on the same topic, that is called the secondary data analysis research design. And the other one, it is the outcome research study. Outcome research study in the sense, that is, see, for example, when we are identifying any new intervention, it has to be introduced in particular group of people, that is the experimental group, and we are finding out the outcome, how far it is effective to the experimental group, the outcome, whether we are getting a positive outcome or not. If the positive outcome, it is the effective study. Okay. Then the evaluation study, same way in the evaluation study or the evaluation research design. So some technique we are introducing newly to the particular group of people. How far we want to analyze the effectiveness, whether it is applicable to the particular group of people. See, for example, if you are introducing any educational technology or if you are introducing a new syllabus to particular group of people, so we have to evaluate what is the outcome, what is the job opportunities present on the society. So whether the person can it will be helping for the survival of the person. So that is called that evaluation research design. Okay. And the operational research design, it involves the study of complex human organization or service to get the new knowledge or new knowledge about the institution or the programs, or to utilize new facilities to improve the work efficiency. That is the operational. Some procedures we will be following. See for example, some protocols we have to follow to prevent some of the diseases. See, in the first video I have explained regarding the research problem and what are the design we are going to use. See, for example, so to prevent the occupational hazards, we have to set a protocol. So that is called that operational procedures. That protocol has to be applied on the textile company. Okay. So when the protocol is followed, it will be giving the prevention of respiratory diseases. So that is called that operational research design. Some protocol it is introduced on a particular group of people, and we are preventing the ill effects. Okay, so that is the operational. So what the technique we are identifying that can be applied in particular group of people, that is the operational procedure or the operational research. So this is the other forms of research design. Okay. Next it comes so till now we have seen regarding the quantitative research design. Now it is the qualitative research design. It is only the 5 research designs it is present. That is the first one, it is the phenomenological research and ethnographic research, grounded theory, case studies, historical research and the action research. One by one we will see. Phenomenological research. Phenomenological research examines the human experience through the description provided by the people involved in the particular group. What is a phenomena, or what are the changes that is taking place on that particular area. That is the phenomenological research. In the ethnographic in the sense cultural patterns. If you see, for example, in the particular tribes, what is their cultural pattern, how their culture is followed, that is the ethnographic research. And the grounded theory, it is the theory is developed inductively from a corpus data acquired by a participant or the observer. That is, through the observation we will be collecting the information here, and the collected information gathered and the unwanted materials deleted, and we will be making a theory. That is the grounded theory. And the case studies, we can understand that single case alone will be taken and it will be analyzed, what is the cause and how the disease is taking place. That is the case study approach. Okay. And the historical research, we all know that historically what and all it is taken place, that's the systematically we will be collecting and we will be evaluating the observation, the collected information, and we will be giving the anticipating the future events. That is the historical research. Action research, it seeks some that is the when we are identifying the intervention, it will be applied to improve the practices in particular community people. See, for example, I see now we can take this COVID-19. So here the action means here wearing the mask and washing hands, and when we are going out, when we are before entering into the home, inside the home we have to wash our hands and wash our food. After that only we have to enter, like that. That is the action. So to improve the practice on a particular community, or to prevent something we will be following some practices, that is called the action research. Okay. So these are regarding the research design. So overall I will tell you mainly the types we have the quantitative and the qualitative. In the quantitative we have the true experimental, non-experimental and other forms. In the true experimental we have already discussed the types and the non-experimental and the other forms of design. In the qualitative, only thing, naturally whatever it is taking place in the, that is we are describing their views and the attitudes through the numericals, that is called that qualitative. In this qualitative, phenomenological, ethnographic, grounded theory, case studies, historical and the action research. Okay. So these are regarding the research design. So it is a very big topic. It is given in a divided form in part 1, part 2, part 3, like this. Okay, you all have to see all the videos to get the knowledge regarding the research design. Hope you all understood regarding the research design. We will meet you in the next videos. Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye.